Okay, hello everybody. This is Queen Lenora. Okay, we getting ready to do some topics on Nick Cannon again. You think I did it once and it would have been okay? No, I got to do it again. I'm never happy or satisfied until I get my topics fully the way I want them. And so you're going to have to bear with me as this is my new adventures of figuring out things. So this is what we're going to go with. So before we start, please subscribe, like, and push that notification button, which looks like a bell, and you want to scroll down a little and say all videos. Yes, because all videos is what you need to see of me. Anyway, just want to talk, so we're going to talk about Nick Cannon. Okay, so people can hate me, you can love me. I don't care how you want to do it. This is me having my freedom of speech, and I'm going to use my freedom of speech. So Nick Cannon basically said some things, and I have it up just to make sure I'm not saying anything that's wrong, because I don't want to misinterpret anything that I read. So anyway, pretty much he basically said we are the real Jews. Black people are the real Jews. And everybody else who don't have any melanin in them are not. And he spoke on what Minister Farrakhan has said. And I don't even know, because I know Minister Farrakhan was a Muslim and now he's a Christian. I'm not quite sure if that's still there, and I should have did an investigation before coming up over here, but we could talk about Minister Farrakhan another time, and I can get all the information on him, because it's really not about him, it's really about Nick, and we're going to do that. So anyway, they also were talking about Dwayne Wade sitting up there being on Nick's side, and they said, oh, no, I wasn't being on his side, his dad being on his side on something, on him, going to keep his show, because I'm not against hate, and I'm figuring he's saying he's not against hate because of his son being gay. Okay, so I think that's what all that is. And I think when you have that, it's like people will drag you all over the place. Like, how you gonna be hating on something, having hate towards whites and everybody else, but you don't want nobody to hate your son? So I think that's why he said that. That's his platform of saying that. But in reality, I think he agrees with Nick 100%, but didn't want to say it because, of course, his son is gay and he don't want no hate spilling towards his child, especially as his child is in school and everything else. So that's my opinion. That's it. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. But anyway, Nick was having an interview that is no longer up on YouTube, which I didn't even know it was on YouTube. I thought it was on podcast. But it's no longer on YouTube. And he took it off. But he also said, he gave an apology saying, I wasn't trying to stir up hate. I wasn't doing any of that. That's not what I was doing. I was just basically stating facts. That's how I took it. Now, that might not be how he meant it, but that's how I took it. Like, I was stating facts. I wasn't trying to say, I didn't want no hate to go out. I didn't want nobody to feel less than. I was just telling you the truth. And for some reason, people don't understand that the truth can hurt. It really can. It can hurt you. It hurts when somebody tells you the truth, especially when you've been believing something so long. So, how I get it. My son, when he was a young boy, my oldest son, when he was a young boy, we switched schools, and at his new school, he told the kids that Santa Claus wasn't real. And I don't know what he's saying. I'm not at school. I just know what we do at our house. Santa Claus ain't real. And I said, you be waiting a long time, and we ain't even got a chimney. Oh, how you gonna sit here and talk about Santa Claus real? If that's the case, I don't have to buy you no gifts. I mean, I just want to know. Because we can all sit and wait for Santa Claus. So when you asking for all these gifts and you sitting up here, we can wait. I don't have to spend no money. If Santa Claus is real, I ain't got to spend no dough. So anyway, I get a call from the school, and they mad because he done told people Santa Claus ain't real, and the parents is upset. And they come to me, and I'm like, hey, what do you want me to do? I mean, it's the truth. Santa Claus ain't real, and I'm not lying to my son to tell him it is real. Now, just because other parents want to lie to their kids don't mean I'm going to lie to my son. And what kids say on the playground is what kids say on the playground. Got nothing to do with me. You know, when kids talking about they worship the devil or they love Buddha, or you don't hear me complaining. That's what they say on the playground. They say what they say. They believe what they believe. As long as there ain't no racial comments coming out, I don't really got nothing to say. And not believing that Santa ain't racial. So that's my point. The truth is the truth. It might hurt, but the truth is the truth. And we have been lied on so much that now when the truth come out, it hurts. And now we call it hate. That's what we call it. We call it hate. And I don't know why we call it hate. It's the truth. It's like you stole this land from the Native Americans. And you give them their land, and they have casinos and stuff on there, and you can't mess with them. You have to talk to the head leaders of the land to be able to mess with anybody that is Native American. I'm just telling you what it is. But they still try to act like it's not real, like they didn't take over. Just like they act like we weren't really slaves, and we weren't really... And they still treat us that way. But, you know, in reality, they owe us some land like they owe the Native American. No. Don't. I know people like, well, they were here first. Yes, the Native Americans was here first, and I'm not taking it. But we built this land. And since we built this land, we should have our own private land. Because we built America. We built the United States of America. And since we built the United States of America, I like you built. I like that. Anyway, since we built it, we should be having some land. And I would love to have my land. Thank you. Just send me my land. So anyway, as Nick is sitting up here saying, I was not doing hate. I do not agree with hate. Hate is not what I do. Nick said it so well. I'm going to try to find it. He said, no, Eli, when you're cutting, I'll put it right here, okay? He said that he does not condone hate speech or hateful rhetoric. As Cannon said, it's more important to promote unity and understanding. He also welcomed any expert, spokesperson, or clergy member that could hold him accountable and correct his statements. That is how he said it. He did not recant what he said. He said, I am not spewing hate speech. And he wasn't. He just was saying what he felt was true. He said over here, and you guys can read it yourself, he said, when you have a person that has lack of pigment and lack of melanin, that they know they will be annihilated. Cannon said in the now deleted interview, so therefore, however they got the power, they have lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion, so that people that don't have it or a little, and I am going to say this carefully, are a little less. And where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it way back around to Minister Farrakhan. In addition to talking about lack of melanin and correlation of compassion, Cannon also compared non-melanated people to savages. He clarified that he was speaking about Jewish people, white people, European, and the Illuminati, while saying that they had to act as animals while living in the Nordic mountains. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And that is what Cannon said. And when he turned around and came back and said this, he basically was saying, I'm sorry your feelings are hurt from the truth. That's how I took it. And that's how, because he said, and he was passionate, and he, boom, just went on and spoke from his heart. This is something he spoke from his heart and said it. And then it cracks me up because like when you go further and further with the interview and the talking, and then now, you know, you got people saying different stuff, and he done got fired, and I think that he might have. And I think when he got back on to it, I believe he was saying how he truly feels, but he was like, it wasn't a hate speech. And he wasn't lying about that. It wasn't a hate speech. And so he wanted you to be clarified, so he apologized. But then I think right now what he's trying to do is get the full rights of the Wild and Out show. Because that's a brilliant show. I mean, when he came up with that show, that was brilliant. And I just don't think he owns the whole thing. And I think that's why he's truly saying it. But he apologized, right? Because he's like, you're taking as what I'm saying as a hate speech, and I'm not. And I would have any of you guys come up here and talk to me to even set me straight if I'm wrong about some things. You know what I mean? And then there's even some parts in there where when I was reading it was talking about, even Will was like, Dwayne Wade is a real good person, and he's really this. He was not trying to do anything. Hey, because Dwayne done sat up there and stuck up for Nick, and you can't stick up for another black person, because then everybody just gonna attack you. And then, because Dwayne Wade's son is gay, so then LGBTQ don't play that. Like, you can't be hating, because we got some control in this too. I'm just saying what it is. You can not like it, you can not love it, but this is what I feel is true. Now, I haven't talked to Nick, but I'm talking for what I feel is true. I read this and I said, what's going on? And I said, I like his apology, because he wasn't spewing hate speech. Now, I don't know everything he said. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I didn't watch it. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I'm reading. But if I'm reading it correctly, this is what he believes. Now, I don't know everything he said to know if I believe it or not. But I do believe we are the original people on this land called the world. So I don't care what continent you are. I don't care if you're in the UK or where. I think we are the original. I go by the Bible, and the Bible says Adam and Eve, and Adam and Eve was black. So guess what I believe? Okay. So now that we know what Queen Lenore believes, But I've heard about people saying we're the original Jews. I don't know. I haven't done the research. But I know one thing. Nick got fired, and the people are mad. They're not just a little bit mad. They are mad. So Nick had to come by and say, you know what, I apologize. I was not spewing out hate. I don't believe in hate. I believe we should all love one another and be around each other and care for one another. He was getting that Martin Luther King voice coming up. That's what I felt like. He was getting that Martin Luther King. I had a dream. I believe he was there. And they was like, I don't know if they agree yet. I got to wait to see if they agree with that apology. But he apologized for hate speech that he does not believe he was trying to be. But you apparently thought it was a hate speech. So since you thought it was a hate speech, guess what? You called it a hate speech because you believe it was a hate speech. And he said, I was not trying to have a hate speech. I opened the platform for all to come and talk to me. Set me straight. Tell me I'm wrong. So I'm going to say, Will Smith, again, I give you kudos. I give you kudos. So good job, Will Smith. And remember, you have the right to have freedom of speech, but so does everybody else. And sometimes it's not going to turn out the way you want, and you're going to have to apologize like, Nick Cannon did. And it'll be all right. Because he did apologize. But he apologized the correct way. And I appreciate you, Nick. Again, I appreciate you, Nick. And remember, everybody, to love and live each day as if it were your last. Smooches. Smooches. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button.